Hello, everybody. Coach Karen here, owner of Kaia FIT Sierra, our women's fitness program in Reno Sparks with 4 studio locations across town. And I'm here today with Bianca, who is the founder of UVAL Care, to really talk about the basics of CBD. I think we all kind of know maybe a little bit about it, or maybe we think we know, but let's kind of dive into this excerpt of her upcoming CBD 101 workshop so you can kind of get a sense of what we're talking about with the products that we're going to be releasing. Take it away, Bianca.
All right. Thanks, Karen, for having me. Yeah, this is going to be just a short presentation of what is going to come in January so that hopefully you guys, I will get your curiosity that you want to learn more. I'm really excited that there is a growing community of folks wanting to learn and understand more how non-intoxicating plant compounds really work in our body. Because what I go out and, I sell my products. I get the feedback from my customers and I teach. But now what I hear a lot of misconceptions that are happening. It's like THC gets me high. I mean, many of you will know that CBD doesn't get you high, only the THC part gets you high. So that's one wrong misconception. The other one is people think that it's only for old people or only for sick people. That's also false. Like many of us can benefit from CBD because it really ultimately creates a balance in our body and mind. And I hope to go through this with you and show you some images to hopefully deepen that understanding how CBD really works on your body and mind. Yeah. So now for that, for here, I want to take you, so the class is called Your Body and Mind on CBD, but one of the things that I want to point out is just the difference between here THC and CBD. So they are both CBD dominant plants are also a cannabis plant, and THC dominant plants are also a cannabis plant. So when it's CBD dominant, the law now, since the 2018 Farm Bill, we now call CBD dominant plants hemp. And when they are THC dominant, we actually say marijuana. But they're still the same plant. It's just here CBD, it has to be, the THC content has to be below 0.3% THC. And any plant that is above 0.3% THC levels is then called marijuana. So that's a basic understanding for you to get that it's the same plant as just what is CBD dominant, what is THC dominant. CBD and THC, now they are plant compounds, and now plant compounds are cannabinoids. So this word, to know this word is a good thing because cannabinoids, they are more than, so here, check this out. Scientists have discovered over 114 different cannabinoids. And there are other cannabinoids like CBG, CBC, and CBN, and many more. But these three have gotten the most scientific evidence and scientific studies behind them. And they are called rare or minor cannabinoids. Because usually in nature, they just appear in below 1%. So maybe you have listened to me earlier. I was in the THC world for so long, and I used to be a grower. So now the growers grow for the demand of the consumer. And THC dominant plant are bred like you. Now, if we would go in the wilderness and you find weeds, cannabis in the wilderness and in forests, then there would be much more of a balanced profile, a balanced makeup between different plant compounds. But because men that are used to be the consumers of THC, they are so much more into the high and they consume it, they metabolize it faster. So there is a whole industry that caters to that. So my point, I guess, is that now by nature, we would have much more of an abundant plant makeup versus a THC dominant makeup. Yeah. So there would be other plant compounds in there that are like the CBG, the CBC, and the CBN. So let me take you to a different slide. Now, I want us to compare CBD and THC. So when you go online, you will, and you ask, is CBD psychoactive? You will find a lot that now they say CBD is not psychoactive. And the reason why that happened is now the CBD world wanted to separate themselves from the THC world. So they say, oh no, CBD is definitely not psychoactive, only THC is. But I want you to see this. Psychoactive actually means drugs affecting the mind and enters our blood-brain barrier. So that means it is mood altering, it is mind altering. Look at this here, it's just slightly. That means it is mood enhancing. So it lifts our mood without the intoxicating effect. And here you see, this is the most important part where CBD is different to THC. It is not psychotropic, which means it is not intoxicating, not psychedelic, and not hallucinogenic. So this is really the right term to say CBD. Yes, CBD is not psychotropic, but it is psychoactive. And I think that's a really important part, because why should we, now, as more you get to know me, I like the mood enhancing qualities of the CBD, and it takes, because CBD is very subtle, it takes time to sort of like notice the effects. So you make you have to tune into how your mood is elevated, but that is really important to me. So let me take you to the other one. And so there is a system in our body, it's called the endocannabinoid system. So you have learned the word cannabinoids now, which was the system was discovered in the 1960s and by an Israeli researcher. And this system regulates all our other systems, our central nervous system, our muscular system, our hormonal system, you name it. The endocannabinoid system has to do with that. So it's sort of an umbrella to communicate to the other systems in our body. And what is its goal? Its goal is to create balance, going always back to a place of homeostasis, which just means it always strives to create a balance. And so, I'm not going to go much into this, but there are the receptor sites all over our body now that live in our organs, in our central nervous system. And now when we are healthy and young, let me go back. Endo, what does endo mean? Endo means within or inherent. So that means that system is totally self-explanatory. We don't need anything else to create that balance, to self-repair. We have inner molecules that work within that system, and now that always feed the receptor sites, these points that you see there, the green and orange ones, they feed them, and it goes for creating a balance. So, so when we are healthy and young and everything is fine, now our endocannabinoid system just works perfectly and we don't need anything. Fitness, good food, that all improves our receptor site activity and our endocannabinoids, which are molecules that are feeding these receptor sites. But reality is, we are not perfect. We age, we get stressed. I think that's a big one, right? Stress, right? Stress we get injured. And it's now, you guys all know kids get back to repairing themselves so much faster than we as adults do. So it slowed down that process of healing. So this is why I take you now to the other slide. So now you know what endocannabinoids are. They are here. They are all here. They are inner cannabinoids that feed our body and are responsible for our self-repair. So if we don't have enough of these endocannabinoids, we can supplement them with phytocannabinoids. And we are lucky that the plant, the hemp plant or the cannabis plant has a lot of these abundant that go into this is the receptor, and they go into and make this receptor side work, then communicate to the cells, and it trickles down to the healing properties that these molecules have. So that's really how when we don't have enough of the endocannabinoids, we can help with the plant compounds that help us to self-repair and get these receptors work right. All right, so check this out. This was sort of like I shrunk together my 1 hour class in it's sort of the beginning, but I hope it got you interested in learning more about it. But if I would want to take you to a little further, maybe you actually explore some CBD products prior to the workshop, I want to talk about this, how important it is to properly use CBD. So there are some folks that tried CBD once before, and they say, it doesn't work for me. And then I always I'm asking more questions. So what did you use? How much did you use? Did you continuously increase your dose? Because that's a really important part. As much as there are different plants, think of tomato plants. There are many tomato plants, different tomatoes out there. And there are many different cannabis plants out there. So the makeup of the cannabis plant is always different. On top of it, you have products that are designed more, that are also have a different makeup. And then you, as the user, come with different genetics, different biology. Did you eat or did you not eat? Like, what's your diet? All of this influences your, how the plants are affecting you. So, I will now, Karen will have these cards. So they're called Cannabinoid Use 101 card. If you have CBD products at home, please pick up just this card and use it. It will teach you how to find your sweet spot now, so that you continue. Now, so there's this, you start very low and go slow. That's the really important part. So first you use it sublingually, which means under the tongue. You let it dissolve through your mucous membrane. It gets into your bloodstream faster. So then the second one is start low and go slow, which is really important. Anybody that tells you, hey, I use that much, so you're going to use that much, never do that. Men, women metabolize it different. You do yours. You do, what's the saying, Karen? Like,
you're hard at Kaia, so it'll be all yours. It's your
right.
love.
So you do it your way, right? You start low and go slow and find what works really individually for your body and mind. And then you pay attention. Now, when you feel that that you say, oh, they have a slight change, then you're on the right track. So this card, on the back of it, you actually write down how many drops or how much you used. And then you assess yourself with how do I feel before I use any CBD? And then with a number system. And then you, like an hour later, when you think of it, it's like, how do I feel now after I used it? And when the numbers gradually go up, that's then you are closer to your sweet spot, and then you just stay with that. So it's all on this card, but the one other important part is you always want to do it after food. Food, CBD or cannabis attaches to fat molecules. So if you have a good meal after your workout, you go home, you want to eat, then use it after you eat. That's the best way. And when the numbers on the back of the site go up, that's when you stick with that, because our goal is to find the smallest amount that gives you a therapeutic effect. And the other thing is, like, stick with it for a while. Like, if you just don't use it like once a week. I'd rather have you use it like a whole month and then you don't use it at all. Then you do it again. So the regularity. Now, everything I learned speaks that it's important to take it regularly. That's why it's important that we want to have the smallest amount that gives you a therapeutic effect. So, yeah, so that card is really important. I hope that makes sense. If you're a CBD virgin, go and tell Karen you want to try some. And in the next video, I will talk a little bit more about my products, and hopefully you will be more curious to experiment and find more out about CBD. So thank you so much.
Thank you guys so much. Check out the next video.